Russia and China, two major powers that are being drawn closer by the Belt and Road Initiative. I'll explore the spectacular wealth that's been created at the border of these two countries.
大多的企业都是做对俄外贸。
I'll uncover the history of Russians in China.
移民是苏联人呐、波兰人，还有这个犹太人。当时呢，他们的人数呢已经超过了我们哈尔滨的原居民。
And I'll meet the latest friendship ambassadors of the Belt and Road. A Belt and Road initiative linking China and Russia has sparked celebration and concern.
Rival powers, Russia and China, Russia and with China.
Russia or China?
In my journey along the road to Russia, I'll visit China's border cities with Russia.
This entire city is lit in gold.
这里是第15届中俄蒙美丽使者国际大赛。
I'll discover the splendors of Mongolia with its untapped riches.
It's like a house on wheels. Yeah.
Mysterious Uzbekistan through its stunning cities. And I'll explore the Kremlin and the power it wields. This is my journey through one of China's key economic corridors on its Belt and Road.
Tonight's topic is about the triangular relations between the US, China, and Russia, the world's great powers.
So my first question is, what is the state of this trilateral relationship? Are we heading toward conflict?
So clearly, Russia and China, the strategic relationship has evolved, and there's real security cooperation going on. There's arms sales from Russia to China. There's military joint exercises. I don't want to overstate that, but there is an idea about trying to cooperate globally to preclude the United States from gaining global hegemony.
In the last year, much of the focus on international relations worldwide has been on a US-China trade war. One upshot from that is renewed attention on one of the world's oldest and most checkered bilateral relationships. I've been researching Sino-Russian relations, and I've become convinced that it's an important relationship to watch. The two countries' increasing alliance is making American and some European leaders uncomfortable. But is a China-Russia partnership so terrifying to begin with? Where do we begin unpacking this bilateral relationship that has more layers than a Russian doll? Well, here's a good place to start. The world's largest Matryoshka doll square, replete with domes, dolls, and other designer kitsch. This is a Disney-fied Russia. This is Manzhouli, in northeast China, a border zone where Russia, Mongolia, and China meet. What's so amazing about this place is how China so openly advertises its Russian links. China has many friends, but I haven't seen the Chinese government building a Pakistan town or an Italian town to celebrate its bilateral relations. This place is absolutely one of a kind and a testament to Chinese-Russian ties. The doll square is empty because it's freezing winter. But make no mistake, Manzhouli is a busy town. It's China's busiest land port, and it is the main rail gateway to Russia. 65% of all import-export trade runs along these tracks, and these tracks are now busier than ever. Trade between Russia and China soared by nearly 25% in 2018, reaching a record turnover of 108 billion US dollars. Manzhouli is also a special cross-border trade zone and has all sorts of facilities for logistics, customs, processing, exhibition, trading, supply chain finance, and so on. This is the Russian-China trade hub. But Manzhouli's relationship with Russia isn't all about dollars and cents. It's also about friendship and goodwill between neighboring cities and states. And Manzhouli has come up with new ways to promote those friendships.
这里是第15届中俄蒙美丽使者国际大赛颁奖典礼的现场，欢迎大家！
The pageant has a strategic objective. It's to promote China's friendship with Russia and shared neighbor, Mongolia. The China-Mongolia-Russia Economic Corridor is one of 6 major corridors on the Belt and Road Master Plan.
음. 蒙古国的这次的服装还是细节做的还不错的，然后这个比较大气，然后既能呈现这个民族特色，然后又能体现出一种皇家的这样的一种这个风范出来。对，这个俄罗斯的服装呢，相对晚礼和这个火辣劲儿呢出来了，但是它整个的民族特色呢还差了一点点。这样的话，跟这个俄方的负责人呢，包括他的这个服装这面呢，也要造型这面呢，也要提一下这个意见。
Ma Yingzhe is one of the men in charge of organizing this cross-border extravaganza.
So what does this beauty pageant have to do with the Belt and Road Initiative?
满洲里呢，积极融入国家"一带一路"的政策当中。满洲里呢，也是这个中蒙俄经济大总牢的这个重要的节点。每年我们会在赛事期间呢，会举办这个中蒙俄的这样的一个国际论坛。其实这几项活动呢，每年已经成为我们这个毗邻地区大家一个很重要的一个节日了。通过这样的活动呢，实际上增进了很大程度上增进了这个民众之间的这个文化交流，旅游的这种互通，以及在经贸和这个商务方面的一些这个深度的合作。所以对我们整个地区的这个经济和这个文化是有很大的这样一个触动。
Who are the organizers?
这个活动呢，实际上是由这个中欧蒙3国的政府主办的，当时呢都是由这个满洲里市人民政府进行这个具体承办。在2014年的时候，由我们呼伦贝尔旅业集团具体承办。
The charm offensive is effective. The event is covered by more than 100 media outlets in the 3 countries. How do you not win hearts and minds with this?
These girls are walking around in so little clothing in temperatures as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. I couldn't do it.
Давайте. Да холодно, я не могу. Давайте быстрее. Да, блин. Последний раз. Давайте быстрее. Господи. Ай, Манзоли. Все. Вань, давай одежду, не могу.
This must be the toughest weather conditions any beauty pageant participant has to endure anywhere in the world.
这个选拔是一个很困难的工作，当然我们可能有更专业的团队，包括有世界著名的一些这个模特啊，或者说这个美业的这个领军人物在进行这个选拔。我每一个人对美的评价和审美都是不同的视角和不同的标准。俄罗斯赛区呢，实际上我们看到的都是充满活力的这样的美，更趋于欧洲的浪漫的这样的一种美丽。那我们在中国的赛区呢，能看到的就像我们一幅水墨画一样，柔美如水一般。所以每一个人对美的评判它都不一样。
Russian-China relations are all smiles now, mostly. But there was a time when relations weren't so rosy. In the early 1950s, Russian and Chinese leaders dreamed of fashioning a world of communism. But by the late 60s, the two communist giants had entered into such a fierce battle for supremacy that they became bitter enemies. They even threatened to use nuclear weapons on each other.
Thousands of Muscovites demonstrate outside the Chinese embassy in Moscow. The confrontation across the Ussuri River, the far eastern frontier between the two countries, has provoked a king-size outburst of propaganda from both sides. The Russians claim that over 40 of their border guards have lost their lives. The most serious development has been the Russian threat to escalate the whole thing into a full-scale conflict, to initiate an offensive with nuclear weapons.
With the breakup of the Soviet Union, the border dispute was also scaled down. In 1991, the two countries signed a pact demarcating their borders. And today, all bitterness from the past is hardly ever discussed. Nowadays, the dialogue revolves around excellent bilateral relations. In 2017, Putin presented Xi with Russia's highest state award. In 2018, Xi handed Putin a large golden Medal of Friendship, declaring the Russian leader his best, most intimate friend. The two leaders have met over 30 times since 2013. In addition to excellent trade ties, China and Russia support each other on a wide variety of foreign policy issues, including the Venezuela crisis, North Korea's nuclear program, and the Iran nuclear deal. Whatever the strategic reasons may be for the blossoming friendship, it's made Manzhouli a boomtown. With serious investment pouring into the Wild West frontier town of the Chinese border, Sino-Russian trade is taking off. And I'm off to meet a tycoon breaking it in from the Sino-Russian trade. You might find it surprising, but this is one of the biggest and most profitable businesses in Manzhouli. Russia and China trade in many things: oil, timber, electronics, you name it. But it's humble vegetables that are moving fastest. The reason has to do with politics. In 2014, Russia cut ties with its fruits and veggie suppliers from the European Union and US, a retaliation against sanctions over the Ukraine issue. Russia has to buy its fruits and veggies elsewhere. That was when Putin turned to his old comrade in China. This is probably the most vegetables I've seen in my life. All of this is being sent to the Russian city of Irkutsk, 1,500 kilometers away. 4 years ago, this journey would have taken 7 days on the road. But today, that travel time has been cut in half because of all the new roads that have been built due to the Belt and Road Initiative. Chinese veggies are moving faster than ever. According to Russian government statistics, Russia buys $1 billion worth of veggies and $300 million worth of citrus fruits from China annually. This company alone, Senfu Logistics, exports $50 million worth of fruit and veggies to Russia a year. In 2018, their export volume to Russia grew 13% compared to the previous year. Meng Lin is the woman in charge. She moved to Manzhouli 25 years ago, and Meng Lin has done very well. Wow, there are a lot of awards here. Congratulations. Earlier today, I was able to check out your company, and I have to say, the place looked very busy. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of your business?
我们企业是这样，是在2000年以前，我们在向俄罗斯进口有色金属的同时，然后发现俄罗斯的百姓还是对于我们中国的果蔬比较感兴趣，因为我们满洲里毗邻的这些俄罗斯的地区，天气比较寒冷，所以很难有那么多品种的水果和蔬菜。然后这样，我们从2002年开始就几乎是正式走上了向俄罗斯出口果蔬的这条道路，取得这么多荣誉，也是各级政府还有我们一些合作伙伴对于我们这个企业工作的一个肯定吧。这个我还是比较很高兴、很荣幸。喝点茶吧。
Oh, sure, thank you. You were 21 years old when you first came to Mancholi. What was it that brought you here?
我那时候从电视上看见边贸热嘛，就来看一看，然后来。感觉这个城市挺不错，很有前景，然后就留下来了。没想到一留了20多年。
Wow, 25 years, huh? Time flies. What was Mancholi like back then?
满洲里当时就是一个边陲小镇，我觉得到了晚上8、9点以后，那个灯光都很少，好像很黑的，然后高楼大厦也没有。现在我们满洲里已经是一个非常繁荣的一个口岸城市了，主要以这个旅游和外贸为主。满洲里这个城市还是比较有建筑特点吧，我们几乎所有的建筑都会带有一点欧美的这个感觉嘛，非常有临近俄罗斯这么一个口岸城市的那种特点。
And it's all thanks to Russia-China ties, huh?
基本上满洲里现在大多的企业都是做对俄外贸，或者是说做旅游的企业也很多。
We hear a lot about the Belt and Road Initiative. How has it impacted your business?
有了“一带一路”以后吧，从我们这个角度来说，从运输上首先是比以前更方便、更快捷了。然后从铁路运输上也是一样，我们现在开通了很多的这个班列，然后通过这些班列呢，可以让我们的一些产品更方便、更快捷的来到达俄罗斯很多城市。因为提高了运力，提高了速度，然后现在就增加了好多我们以前不敢想的一些新鲜品种，比如说以前我们很难想象，能把芒果，从南方运到我们北方，然后再运到这个俄罗斯百姓的餐桌上。但是现在因为通过“一带一路”的这个对我们这个运输的速度上的提高，所以现在我们也增加了很多新鲜品种的对俄出口。
Mangoes, once an exotic rarity across the border, can now be bought in Russian supermarkets, even in Siberia. These foreign fruit are now much more accessible thanks to the new trade links. Just another example of how China's Silk Road is changing the world.
To your successful partnership with Russia.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
谢谢，谢谢。
干杯。
This is the boom town that is Mancholi, a Chinese city with an obvious Russian feel to it everywhere you turn. There's a good reason why. Mancholi is the poster city for exciting developments in Sino-Russian trade. The thriving tempo of cross-border trade is best felt here at the Mancholi Trade Center. It's the city's official cross-border trade zone. It's not even 9 a.m., and already a long queue has formed outside. They're here for one thing mainly: wheat flour. Bags and bags of the stuff fly off the shelves here, bound for shops and restaurants across the city. It's a flour frenzy, driven not by traders, but by very entrepreneurial townsfolk. So this morning there was a long line of people waiting to get in here. Can you tell me what that was about?
是这样的，你看到的门口，它那么多的边民，每天大概入区有1000多个，1000多个，他们可以通过我们这块行使他们免税购物的权益，获得了我们那个每天8000块钱的购物的内容。我们的边民可以把商品呢拿到2级市场里面卖给我们的商店，他们从中间获利，是这个过程。
And this happens on a daily basis then?
他们每天感觉到非常幸福，我们每天都有1000多人。
Bread is a must-have in this part of China. Flour may be the star product, but there's also trade in candies, chocolates, honey, skincare, cooking oil, and all kinds of Russian products imaginable. The Manzhouli Trade Center isn't just any other Russian departmental store. For the local government, it's a shining example of how both sides of the border have plenty to gain from the Belt and Road Initiative.
按一般贸易来讲呢，你得需要进口商品需要缴纳关税，进口环节增值税和消费税，在我们互贸免税区里面，这些税是都没有，是为0，所以你的商品通过这种模式进入中国呢，它的市场的竞争力很强，因为它的价格很便宜。第二，这是对于俄方呢可以找到很好的出口渠道了。那么对于中方老百姓，尤其边民地区呢，可以用更少的钱买更多的商品。
Благодаря зоне свободной торговли мы получили большие преференции. Очень хорошо нам помогают люди тут с житьем, с визами, с документами. И очень много рекламы делается. Благодаря этому китайские туристы, китайские люди узнали о наших товарах. И продажи сейчас в данный момент очень идут хорошо. Поэтому все, в принципе, отлично.
This trade zone is an example of some of the unique businesses that have come up on the New Silk Road. Manzhouli has a special role on China's Belt and Road Global Economic Master Plan. And here's why. China has identified 6 economic corridors on the Belt and Road Initiative. The China-Mongolia-Russia Economic Corridor is one of these 6 corridors, and one that is accelerating particularly quickly.
国家的一带一路的战略的实施，使满洲里这样的国际性的口岸城市又带来了新的机遇。我们17和18年在这个组织“一带一路”中欧班列方面，应该说是一直在大幅度的在提升。特别是去年18年，我们从满洲里口岸经过和主发的中欧班列达到了1800多列。 我们开通的线路也达到了54条。中欧班列呢，就把这个欧洲的，也包括俄罗斯的原材料，大量的这些商品和产品输入满洲里，也通过满洲里呢进入国内市场。所以这方面呢，给满洲里的经济呢，应该说带来了很大的这个帮助。
The road and rail connections between the two countries are especially timely, given China's less than rosy trade ties with the United States currently. But border towns like Manzhouli are richer for it, not just from trade. Look at what it's done to the city's nightlife. There are many Russian restaurants in Manzhouli. Let's go check this one out. Oh, hello.
Hi, здравствуйте. Добро пожаловать в ресторан «Рубль». Проходите.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, look at that bear.
对，这个是真正的熊，来自俄罗斯。你好，哪儿来？俄罗斯的串儿。
哎，对。
非常感谢来到卢布利西餐厅。咱们是第一次来吗？对。对。咱们是从哪里来的？北京。北京。
Christina is the maitre d' of the Lublin, a dive that's popular among out-of-towners. The food is just part of the attraction. For many Chinese visiting the city, this could be their first taste of Russian culture. This is quite the grand room you've prepared for us. I feel like a king in here.
Thank you so much。是的，我们就是让客人感觉到俄罗斯氛围。
Your Mandarin is quite good. What made you want to study Chinese?
我来中国已经6年了，在中国大学毕业的。
Do you have many friends from Russia who want to work here?
是的，我有很多同胞们，他们都想来这儿上班工作。
Is the salary higher here compared to Russia?
是的，是的，因为现在在俄罗斯经济情况不太好，所以在中国高2-3倍，所以我们都来中国。
Do you have many Russians applying to work at your restaurant?
很多，这非常多啊！而且每年他们都在这工作。像我这个娜娜，以前在中国上大学，后来就留在卢布里，一直在这工作。像他这样的留学生很多都在这工作，喜欢中国。
So what's the process of hiring a Russian?
基本上我们申请一个工人手续，以前可能要等的2-3个月，现在10天8天就能解决的问题啊，非常便利。这些都是近几年的“一带一路”来带来的一些好的政策呢啊。
How things have changed. 30 years ago, people on this side of the border wanted to go west. Now, Russians are wanting to come east. It really shows how far China has come. My trip in Mancholi is coming to an end, but there's lots more to discover about the Sino-Russian relation. And for that, I'll be headed to Harbin, the music city of China. This is Harbin, a city with deep-rooted Russian connections. At Harbin's main street, the city's Russian flavor is hard to miss. Walking along the street, you find dozens of Russian souvenir shops and restaurants, like this Russian restaurant right here, famous for its bread. Look at all these people queuing up. This is the only place in China that I've ever seen people in line for bread. And no, it's not some new hipster fad. Families in Harbin have been bread eaters for more than 100 years. Russian flavor extends to the city's urban landscape. Stunning examples of Art Deco and Neo-Renaissance architecture from the 1920s and 1930s line the main street. Why do we see so much Russian and European influence here in Harbin?
是这样的，1898年的时候，俄罗斯在远东和中国修了一条中东铁路，火车的车轮呢就把各个国家的移民呢带到了这个松花江边的这个城市，所以呢，这个当时我们这个哈尔滨呢就容纳了许多国家的这个移民，英法美日德。 更多的是苏联人波兰人，还有这个犹太人。当时呢，他们的人数呢已经超过了我们哈尔滨的原居民。这些外国移民呢带来了芭蕾舞、音乐、交响乐，同时呢也带来了各种精美的建筑。这样呢，我们哈尔滨的大街小巷就出现了罗马式的、巴洛克式的、拜占庭式的那些西方的建筑。所以说呢，哈尔滨呢是我们中国呢西方建筑最多的一个城市，被称作 东方的小巴黎。
Interesting, huh? The old name for Harbin is Manchuria, a city steeped in history. It had been governed by 3 different powers: the Russians, the Japanese, and the Chinese. At the turn of the 19th century, it was an industrial powerhouse, with a thriving economy which funded these spectacular buildings. Wow, this church is magnificent. Can you tell me how old it is?
是这样的，1898年之后各国的移民就是来到了哈尔滨，那么他们要进行宗教活动，于是呢，当时的政府呢就在1907年就修建了一个专门为俄国随军的这些士兵服务的天主教堂，就是圣索菲亚大教堂。
Harbin was an expat paradise, with people from over 50 different nationalities who formed 60% of the city's population. The City Museum has recreated visuals of what the city looked like at the time, and boy, it looks nothing like China. In the 1910s and 20s, Harbin hosted the largest Russian population outside of the state of Russia. Their influence on the Chinese people remain till this day.
我们哈尔滨跟其他的城市不一样的，哈尔滨人是吃面包、喝咖啡、吃酸黄瓜和红肠。我们哈尔滨的生活呢，跟中国的其他城市也不一样，它保留着这个欧洲人、俄罗斯人、日本人，还有外交的这种杂交的混血文化。所以我们呢，哈尔滨人是看芭蕾舞、听交响乐，然后喜欢电影。
The Russians left much more than bread, ballet, and buildings behind. Harbin also inherited a major manufacturing base, which was built by the Russians. The Russians and Chinese draw on the legacy of that long friendship. They work together in furthering many mutual goals, like in education and science. This is the Heilongjiang Institute of High-Tech Research. Here, Russian and Chinese scientists work together on a thermal engineering project.
能够见到您再次到我们研究院来工作。
Очень рад, что еще раз встретился с вами и вы сможете работать в нашем институте.
A translator aids communication, but language is hardly a barrier when causes are aligned.
我们这个对俄中心呢，主要是开展对俄罗斯等就是原来这些独联体国家跟他们来开展这个科技交流、科技合作的。
For the Russians, unlike many of their Western counterparts, there's none of that paranoia associated with Chinese tech research. There's even a bilateral plan for Russia and China to jointly develop their artificial intelligence capabilities.
我们对这个中俄合作的这个前景，我们非常看好，因为我们这个中心当时成立的时候也是为了顺应国家当时在中俄关系方面制定的一个战略。这个战略就是说要加强中俄科技合作，也希望我们中俄将来的我们合作是在互惠互利的这种框架下，使我们中俄双方呢都是在这方面能够优势互补，那么合作共赢。
This partnership has grown, and it's grown far beyond industrial cooperation. There's an extensive infrastructure designed to foster cooperation up and down the line. From summits at the very top, to commissions between governments, and down to networks closer to people's hearts and minds in education. Nowadays, every Russian university or research center in every region and city has a sister institute in China. Neither Russia nor China has a similar arrangement with any other country in the world. I'm here today to meet some students who have benefited from these excellent bilateral ties.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, how are you doing?
All my new Russian friends are here on some form of Chinese government scholarship.
So Adele, why did you choose to come study here in China?
Interesting question. Because my bachelor degree also was about Chinese languages. And I chose China because China gave us scholarships. Because now many Russian and Chinese companies, they have like relations and then sell, buy something to each other.
So is studying Chinese popular amongst your friends back in Russia?
It's very popular. And now the relationship between China and Russia is very good and it's getting better and better. So now a lot of Russian people, we don't just study English, but we also started to study Chinese at schools. So a lot of Russians go to China to get their bachelor degree, master's degree in China right now, and it's easier for us to get Chinese scholarship rather than, for example, American or European countries scholarship.
So Max, what has your experience been like here in China?
Every foreigner who came to China will, on this journey, will understand that it's a lot of cultural shocks Like style of communication is different than in other countries, and also languages and relationships between people, 关系 as we say here in China. But I think it's a good choice.
And what are your plans after you graduate?
I really want to go to Shanghai because I have been there for 6 times and I really love that city.
So what about the rest of you? Are your long-term plans to remain here in China?
Yeah.
Yes, we want to stay here.
哎，一天不吃浑身难受了。
来，巴总。
来，烤串甜了。
哎，那个太空饼，好吃空饼。
哎呦，香呀，酥的烤柴呀，我心搞入我的。啊。
Hey, thank you very much. 谢谢你，谢谢大哥。All right, well, we got our local eats here.
Yes.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, this is definitely a happening spot. I mean, do you guys have anything like this in Russia?
No, honestly, we don't have this in Russia. Like, when I came to China the first time and I saw this night market, I was like, wow, China is very interesting at night. So you can buy anything here. And, well, I'm a student, so I don't have a lot of money. So it's actually very good for me to go here and eat, just buy some clothes, I don't know, anything I want. This is really cool, honestly, very interesting.
Well, since you're a student here, why don't you should be the one eating that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, all of you earlier mentioned that you guys want to live and work in China, do business here. I'm curious to know, what is it like to do business in China in comparison to what it might be like in Russia?
我觉得在中国工作比较好，也有很多机会。然后在中国工资比俄罗斯高多了。比如说当翻译的话，就是如果在俄罗斯当翻译，你要赚4000左右，在中国大概是1万多。
Well, I have to ask the mandatory BRI question, and maybe I'll ask you then, Max.
All right.
Do you feel that your future opportunities are directly linked to the success of BRI?
I think with the rapid development of world economy and international trade, One Belt, One Road actually going to help all small businesses and small companies to give all of these companies a good opportunity to work. I think it's a good thing for all foreigners who live in China right now.
Well, it sounds like everyone feels it's a very favorable thing. Yeah, okay. All right, well, enjoy your sauce.
Thank you.
My journey on China's New Silk Road has brought me to Harbin, the music city. The title is an official one, conferred by the United Nations in 2010, no less. It's also a title Harbin truly deserves. The locals are die-hard fans of Russian classical music, and the love affair goes way back. Around the 1900s, Harbin was nicknamed the St. Petersburg of the East. It was home to a rich cultural scene, including China's first symphony orchestra made up of mostly Russian musicians. Harbin had as many as 30 music schools, where many prominent international musicians trained. The foreigners left during Second World War, but the Chinese, who remained, certainly didn't let the music fade out. In 2016, Harbin unveiled its tribute to their pedigreed musical heritage, an opera house. It cost $560 million US. For a city so passionate about the arts, they consider it money well spent. The Opera House isn't Harbin's only big-ticket investment in the arts. This is its other. A conservatory built in the neoclassical style, costing a cool 116 million US dollars. Isn't this place spectacular? I feel like I'm in a Russian palace. Inside, you'll find the softer aspect of the Belt and Road Initiative, what China likes to call people-to-people bonds. For most classes in this conservatory, the teacher-student ratio is 1:1.
你要опаздывай.
不要迟到啊。
Ага. Та-та-там, 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 пам-пам-пам. В целом неплохо. Мне надо более жесткую артикуляцию, более точные штрихи и активное движение правой руки.
首先呢，就是在整体上你这个演奏拉的是很不错的，但是吧，就是在你这个弦的运动上，就是再积极一些，让它有力度一些，这样音色会好一些。这样对。
Nice, nice. I thought it was nice, but you think it's so-so.
Always there is something to improve. So it's like process for life.
我这代学生就是通过“一带一路”来上这个哈音，有这么好的机会，走进这么优秀的学校，真的非常开心。然后我的老师竟然也是个外教，哇，我可以比别人好这么多，我可以学习到非常丰富的东西，这个太开心了，感觉这么天上难道是掉馅饼了吗？砸到我了，真的非常感觉非常好。
This school opened in 2016 under the banner of the Belt and Road Initiative. The St. Petersburg Conservatory of Music is the school's official partner. And so, Russian teachers are aplenty.
The same. And here, make a SF, for example. Da 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 bum 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 bum.
Why did you choose to move to Harbin?
It was like somebody called me, do you want to go to China? Where? Harbin? I opened map. Yes. Why not? Because Harbin actually really connected to Russian history. Of course, after revolution in 1917, lots of Russian people moved to Harbin. So I saw movies, Russian movies about Harbin. And of course, it's a good challenge.
Any thoughts on the Belt and Road Initiative?
I think actually it's a good initiative because right now, with all those globalization process, when every country has to communicate to others, and this is way to help to each other. Like, for example, China right now can help Russia with some technological process. We can help China with musical ideas, because anyway, lots of Chinese students go to Russia. They study in Russia, they get Russian musical ideas, like Russian musical soul, and then they return to China.
Harbin owes its Music City roots to its cosmopolitan origins, something that wouldn't have happened without the railway. In 1898, Harbin was the administrative hub for the China Eastern Railway, which connected Moscow, China, and Vladivostok. In a way, the China Eastern Railway was a precursor to the Belt and Road Initiative. Harbin was once a small village until the building of the railway, when it became an international city. This railway museum here shows the history. This is what Harbin looked like in the early 1900s. Wars were fought over this railway and control of Harbin. The Russians who controlled it lost it to the Japanese in 1935. The Chinese later took it back, and today, Harbin is a main port of call along the Trans-Siberian Railway linking Beijing to Moscow. With the Belt and Road Initiative, there are even bigger plans to link Harbin to Central Asia and Russia. Just like how the old railway turned Harbin into a cosmopolitan city, the new railway is expected to bring equally monumental changes to wherever its tracks run, crossing exciting new frontiers and creating new opportunities for development. Over the next few installments in this series, I'll be visiting other major points on the Belt and Road connecting China to Russia. In Mongolia, the Belt and Road is facilitating a resource boom in the country. But Mongolians are seriously concerned about the impact of the new Silk Road on the environment and on the ancient traditions of its people. In Uzbekistan, another key node on the China-Russia economic corridor, the ancient Silk Road cities are undergoing a revival as new plans are unveiled to plug them into the modern Silk Road highway. And my final destination in the weeks ahead is Russia. With political problems mounting between Russia and the US and China and the US, the Kremlin and Beijing are drawing closer, with important consequences for the global geopolitical order. My stay in China's border cities has shown me that the Chinese-Russian relationship runs deep. Whether it's in history and culture, or science, technology, and education, this relationship will have a huge impact on the countries between here and Russia. And I'll be visiting those countries in Mongolia and Central Asia in the weeks ahead. Should the world fear a Russian-China collusion, or should it welcome a Russian-China alliance? Whatever your views are on this, there is no question that the two powers are drawing closer, bound by new roads, bridges, and railways on a new Silk Road that will soon reach the heart of the Kremlin.